excited for today's video because today we've got a Magic the Gathering video. It's been too long since I had magic cards here on the channel, so we're gonna fix that today. I always enjoy these ones a lot, and I hope you do too. So, today I've got some very mysterious magic cards in this here box. I really do not know much of what's in this box. I have a very broad, vague idea, but the specifics a mystery. So we're going to be going through this box, which I picked up at a thrift store recently, finding out what lies inside, uncovering that mystery together. And it's appropriate that we have a mystery here, because today's video is sponsored by Mystery MTG. Mystery MTG, otherwise known as Mystery Cards and Games, is a WPN gaming store that's an officially sanctioned Wizards Play Network store, known for excellent prices on its Magic sealed product and singles. It's a great place to be pre-ordering March of the Machine, which is coming out very soon as of the time of recording, or the upcoming Lord of the Rings set, which I'm super hyped for, and you're almost definitely going to see some content with here on the channel, or Commander Masters. You can find a link down below at the top of the video description, which will save you 5% on any pre-orders from Mystery MTG, and will help out the channel and support what I do here as well. So make sure you check out that link at the top of the video description to get some amazing Magic the Gathering product at great prices. Thanks, Mystery MTG, for sponsoring today's video. So, with that, big shout out to Mystery MTG. Let's actually get into the video here and see what is in this box. So, it is, of course, magic cards, as it says here. I did not write that. The previous owner of this box wrote that. I picked this up at the thrift store, as I said a couple of days ago, and I was kind of on the fence about it. I didn't really get a good chance to look at what was inside, just a very quick, flip through, because it was behind the desk at this particular thrift store, and the person behind the desk, the way it works is they have to bring the item forward and watch you as you look it over. But it was really busy there, so they didn't have a lot of time for me to sort of browse through it. So I took a peek, and I decided, what the heck, you know what, we'll go for it. I paid about $20 for whatever's in here. And I do know that at least a chunk of it is lands, but not all of it. I think most of it is not lands, but again, we'll see. Obviously, if it was like mostly lands, that would be a big bummer and not at all worth it, but I don't think that's the case. But I still don't know if it's actually going to pan out, if I'm going to break even, or, if it was worth it or not. But you know what? Part of the fun is in the mystery, the adventure. So that's what I'm here for. Going through it with you guys, finding out what it is. If we enjoy ourselves, then it was worth it. So, without further ado, let's open this up. I get the feeling this was probably, a portion of somebody's collection at some point. We have a couple of decks in deck boxes here. At least I think they're decks. They were sleeved, I saw, so. And then we've got a bunch of cards here. And we've got just some sleeves empty over here. And then I think this chunk is all lands. That's from my very quick look through, that was the impression I got. That one's got some grime on it. But yeah, maybe this was, I don't know, donated by someone's parents or something like that when they moved out, or who knows. It seemed to have cards from kind of across the eras, but nothing that looked super new, mostly older stuff. So let's just start going through. We've also got some dice over here. A couple of D20s for tracking life. Are these actually proper spin down counters? Maybe. Let's see. This looks like probably an actual magic spin down counter. This one, not sure. Oh yeah, totally is. There you go. Was a core set of some kind, probably. Not sure what these came with originally, but this one had a symbol on it too. What set was that? Let me know in the comments, because I don't remember. And I should point out, maybe some of you might know this, but I'm kind of we'll say a lapsed Magic player. I used to play quite a bit, but that was many years ago. Like over a decade at this point, since I played regularly. So I do still kind of keep up with Magic and the sets that are coming out, and I collect them aesthetically, we'll say. I really like, the art and the lore and the vibe and aesthetic of what MTG does, but I don't really play, and I haven't for many years. So, and in the last decade or so, I'm less familiar with a lot of the sets. I always like to throw that disclaimer out there, just so that you know there's a lot of set symbols that I'm going to encounter here and not remember what they are. But that's okay. We got a little rules insert here. Quick reference guide. Totally worth it. What should we start with? Why don't we just start with the decks, I guess. That is indeed what these are. Got a nice Ultra Pro deck box here. It certainly makes nice sounds. Okay, so it makes even nicer sounds when it's empty. All right. So here is our stack of cards, and they are, like I said, sleeved. This person, they color matched their sleeves in their deck box. I appreciate that. It doesn't look like it's been played much. Like, these sleeves look brand new practically. What have we got here? A Chronicler of Heroes. This is that Theros? Theros set. I think it might be Theros. An uncommon. Oh gosh, I should really remember what this is. This is Alara, one of the Alara sets. Cleric of the Forward Order. So we've got a Centaur Wizard, a Human Cleric. This is clearly a primarily white, I guess white-green deck, looks like. Slippery Sack. Ally Allied reinforcements. I do not know what set that is. Timely Horde Meat. That's one of the Tarkir sets, I think. Planes, we've got a Fairies Band Trumper. Don't remember that set either. Forest, Nylea's Disciple, that's definitely from Theros. Sundering Growth. Call of the Conclave. So this looks like it might be a lot of centaurs. Centaur Courser from M13. Plains. A Timur Charger. Yeah, this is a lot of horses. Horses and centaurs. Alive and well. Oh hey. Now that's going back a ways. The Mesa Pegasus. This is, I'm gonna guess, from Unlimited. I'm almost certain it's gonna be Unlimited. But it's an oldie, that's for sure. It's a real oldie. Huh. They got quite an eclectic assortment of cards in this deck. Forest. Attendant Knight. Yo, is it just me or has every single one of these cards had a horse on it so far? I think there's been a horse or a centaur on every card. This is a knight. I thought maybe there's some kind of tribal thing going on here with, like, you know, centaurs, but it's kind of all over the place. Oh my god, it's another centaur. Lagana Trailblazer. Glorious Charge. I think this is a horse deck. I think thematically this is a horse deck. Armored Warhorse. Guys. Intrepid Provisioner. Horses. Horses. The planes obviously don't count, but Equestrian Skill. That's gonna be, this will be quite the commitment to the bit if every single one of these cards is a horse. Centaur Battlemaster. I mean, I know that centaurs aren't technically horses, but it's in the same vein. Cavalry Pegasus. Knight of Obligation. Loyal Pegasus. Forest, Wing Steed, Rider. Okay, so some of these are Pegasi. I guess Pegasi also kind of count as horses, though. Overwhelm. Oh, I was gonna say not a horse, but it has horses on it. We've got a centaur and we've got a Pegasus. I really do think that this person's criterion for whether a card is included in this deck was whether it had a horse on it. Plains. Scab Clan Charger. We got a centaur. Fairies Band Centaurs. Savage Surge. It's got a centaur. Stormfront Pegasus. Oh, this is going back a ways. This is, Visions. Right? Pretty sure that's Visions. Which would have been like late 90s. But a horse. Or a knight. A forest. A tarpan. This is Ice Age. That's also from the 90s. And also a horse. A wild horse. Swordwise Centaur. I don't think I've seen any rares in here yet. A Hunt the Hunter. Just a bunch of uncommons and commons. Lagana Band Elder, a Dawnstrike Paladin. Also, I'm not sure if I've seen the same card twice. They've gone for maximum horse variety. A centaur healer. A Makindi patrol. Okay, so that's technically not a horse, is it? That's like some kind of ungulate. I'm not sure that counts. But I guess it's sort of in the same spirit. We'll give it a pass. It is a knight. Karametra's favor. That's a centaur. Knight of the Skyward Eye. That was another. Is that Shards of Alara, maybe? Courser's Accord. More centaurs. Inspiring Captain. Forest. Rush of Battle. A Pearled Unicorn. That's also going way back to one of those very early sets in the sort of early to mid-90s. Not sure which, though. I'll have to look these up. I mean, these are not going to be rare cards, you know, from those sets, but still, they're in really good shape, and it'd be nice to know specifically what this printing is from. Forest, Plains. Okay, well, that was interesting. There's a lot of horses. Horses, centaurs, and pegasi. But you know what? Props to committing to the bit. Props to committing. Okay. Let's see what else we've got in here. I wonder if this will be themed around something else. They clearly have a strong sense of aesthetics, whoever put these together. Since the last one was, you know, aesthetically themed around horse creatures. The colors. Oh gosh, you guys. More horses. I think this must be part of this deck because it's sleeved the same. I think we might have another. I don't want to say it, but I think we might have more horses, guys. Okay, we have an inspiring captain. A knight on a horse. A cleric of the forward order on a horse. A knight of valor on a horse from Visions. We had one of these in the other deck, I think, right? A Timur charger. Okay, is that a horse? Oh, it literally is a creature horse. Right there. It's just got tusks as well. That's a Tarkir. Another pearled unicorn. Guys, I think this is another green-white horse deck. A Mesa Pegasus, a Forest, a Loyal Pegasus, Chronicler of Heroes, Tarpan. This is kind of the same actually as the last deck, isn't it? Very similar. Rush of Battle has a horse on it. Sundering Growth. Yo, even Sundering Growth has a horse on it. It's kind of sad horse. It's a horse statue. It's falling apart, but it's still a horse. Call of the Conclave. Centaur. Attendant Knight. Horse. Centaur. Centaur. Plains. Karametra's Favor. Centaur. Centaur. Horse. On to the Hunter Centaur. Wow, these are pretty lands, so I like that forest a lot. Stormfront Pegasus. Laguna Band Trailblazer. They literally just went and found all the horses, didn't they? Every single one. Forest Savage Surge with a Centaur. There's Alive and Well again. You notice also with a Centaur on it. Forest Intrepid Provisioner. We had that in the last deck. I think we had all these in the last deck. Plains, Courser's Accord, Nylea's Disciple. I'm not quite sure why you would have two separate decks that are basically identical. And neither of them, you know, particularly effective. I mean, they're going to be thematic. You know, they're strongly thematic, but not in a gameplay sense, just in an aesthetic sense. And you know what? I don't mean to rag on this person. Like, clearly they collected these cards for aesthetic purposes as well, just as I do these days. And they don't seem to have been too concerned about making, you know, functioning decks really beyond a very basic level. Maybe this person was very young. You know, maybe they were just like an 8-year-old that loved horses. I'm getting those vibes. Which makes this a little sad that now I have their cards here. I hope they're doing well wherever they are. I hope they're enjoying horses. Nylea's Disciple, Cavalry Pegasus. That's a pretty card. I do like that one a lot. Equestrian Skill, Forest, Plains, Knight of the Skyward Eye, Forest, Plains, Overwhelm. Once again with the Centaur and the Pegasus. Glorious Charge. Armored Warhorse, Allied Reinforcements, Plains, Centaur Battlemaster, Forest, Plains, Knight of Obligation, Fairies Band Trumper, McKindy Patrol, Forest, Wingsteed Rider. Like, again, props to them for finding pretty much every horse, Pegasus, or Centaur card from the last decade. And well, and beyond. They've got stuff from older than that. Plains, look on the bed, Alder, Dawnstrike Paladin, and a Scab Clan Charger. Okay, so I would say nothing especially exciting in there either. But we do have a few cards left. Well, more than a few. We have a chunk of cards left, but you guys, I have a bad feeling. I have a sneaking suspicion, just based on what I see on the front here, on the top. I think we might be in for more horses. This is kind of silly. Oh my god, there's more horses. Another Mesa Pegasus. In fact, this might be a collection of very similar cards to what's in those decks there. The Mesa Pegasus, once again, it's from a very old set. These old cards like this, you know, the old border and layout and the old mana symbols, I love them because these were my first Magic cards. My first Magic cards were actually given to me by a friend by the name of Alex in grade 6, I guess. So we would have been, 10-ish, 11 years old maybe. 11 we'll say. And I didn't have any cards of my own at the time, but Alex would bring his to the playground, and he sort of gave some out as charity to a few of us guys who didn't have any. And those were my treasured possessions for a couple of years there, until I did start buying my own cards, probably grade 7 or 8. I got some money, I don't know, allowance or chores or something, and and I started buying cards. I think the very first packs I ever bought were from the Invasion set, which I think was 2001. And you know, guys, I actually have some fun Invasion cards, which I might make a video with too. You might get to see that in the not too distant future. If you'd like to see some old Invasion cards that I picked up recently, let me know, because that was a very fun era and very nostalgic for me as well. Anyway, but the cards that Alex gave were like from Unlimited, and they looked like this. So those are my first cards, and they remind me of the olden days. Mesa Pegasus, Pearled Unicorn, Knight of Valor, Courses Accord, Call of the Conclave, Conclave Bureau, Sundered Growth. This person bought 1,000 like of the same cards. They really just wanted to make horse decks, and they bought stuff to make more horse decks. Wow. This is wild, you guys. I'm kind of speechless. I just never knew that people collected magic cards this way. Just with such singular focus on a single creature type. And it's not even like a creature type in the sense of like a mechanical creature type. It's just an aesthetic creature type. Wingsteed Rider, Mesa Pegasus, Pearl Unicorn, Knight of Valor, Courses Accord, Call of the Con. Wait a second, is this the same sequence of cards? Is this literally the same sequence of cards? Mesa Pegasus, Pearl Unicorn, Knight of Valor, Knight of Valor, Courses Accord, Call of the Conclave, Courses Accord, Call of the Conclave. What is happening here? What is happening with these cards, you guys? This is the exact same sequence of cards. Oh, but then it flips direction, so maybe these are different. I reckon this person also maybe had a pet. There's a little bit of pet hair in here. Wow. Weird. Okay, well, let's see what's... Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, you guys. Mesa Pegasus. Oh, we got 4 Mesa Pegasi this time. And 4 Pearl Unicorns this time. Only a single Knight of Valor. Courses Accord, Call the Conclave. Oh, like a bunch of... Okay, so now it's the same sequence of cards, but now we've got multiples. Did we have an Acolyte's Reward yet? I feel like that might be new. Light Form. I think that's new. It's also the same set. Whatever the set that die over there was from. This is that set. Circa 2015. Okay. Noble Quarry. That might be one we haven't seen yet. Okay, so there are a little bit of variety in here, but not really. This is all pretty much stuff we've seen. Pretty much another tarpan. Well, you guys, I have a pretty funny feeling this was probably not a great investment from a purely monetary standpoint, but I will say this is This is a fascinating journey. Not what I expected at all. I really should have taken a closer look at these cards, but I just didn't want to take more of the person's time. There were other folks waiting. Yikes. McKinley patrols. Timely horde mate. So this appears to be like all their extras, all their doubles. But that begs the question, why do they have so many doubles? When, clearly they bought these as singles, I should think. Unless this is just a very small part of a much larger collection. But it looks to me like they probably, went to a game store and just went through their commons and uncommons and just bought everything horse related, which again is something that a kid would do, potentially, right? Yeah, again, it's all commons and uncommons, so either someone's been through here already and taken out the rarer cards, or this individual just didn't have the money or didn't care to buy the pricier cards as singles. So, that's too bad for me, but I can't blame them. Clearly they were doing what they love. Equestrian skills, got clan charger, Carmentra's favor, swordwise centaur, fairies band, trumpers, bunch of Theros cards, went to the hunter, their tarpan, a couple of them. Oh, we got something fresh. Levitation. We have a blue card, finally. These have all been white and green, but I guess that's because the horse and centaur typing and Pegasi are white. Well, Pegasi and knights are gonna be white, and centaurs and horses as beasts are gonna be green, right? But levitation, it's got horses on it. Also, a very fun card. Classic card. But I guess they didn't care enough to make, a pseudo or partially blue horse deck. They would have had a hard time with it probably. I doubt there are many blue horses in Magic. Or blue horse cards. Well, maybe we're about to find out because maybe they've got some others here. Oh, they do. Oh, they totally do. Okay, maybe we should, they got some black horses. They got a lot of stuff here. This was clearly plans for future horse decks that never came to pass. Let's, oops. I got some black. Return Centaur down there. Zephyr Charge. Levitation. Breaching Hippocamp. Oh, sure. Yeah, that would be how you get seahorses. Horsefish. Clearly a horsefish. Force Away. It's got a horse on it. Oh, there's a horse. The Silberland Snapper is a giant turtle, but it does have a horse on the card. Outrider of Jess. Knight. A blood-cursed knight. Multicolored white-black card. Ride down white-red with a horse. Death Frenzy with a horse. Spontaneous Combustion with a horse. Yep, there's a horse there. Do you think this person was upset that they had to include lands in their deck to make it function, but that those lands don't have horses on them? I feel like they might have been upset by that. Drown in Filth. Man, that poor horse is literally dying, but apparently that's okay. we still gonna have that card. War Flare, lots of horses there. Was this a Tarkir block set? I think this must have been a Tarkir block set. We got lots of horses in here, and we got birds outside. You might be able to hear. There's a very loud bird right outside the window. Ponyback Brigade, a Goblin Warrior. Oh, I like that. That's fun. Hussar Patrol. Intrepid Provisioner. We're back into the green horses. Wow. Okay. This is really something else, isn't it? Put that over there. And let's look through our last bit of horses. Because like I said, I do think these are all lands over here. We'll take a look in a second though, just to be sure. Hussar Patrol, a Warmonger's Chariot, horse, Opaline Unicorn. Very pretty, actually. Colorless as an artifact creature. Okay, we got some red cards with horses. The Mardu Heartpiercer. Call of the Full Moon. Oh no! It's eating the horse, you guys. It's a werewolf eating the horse. And yet this person, who I would think loves horses, decided to include this in their collection. Why? Because it has a horse on it. Dead or alive, all horses count. Arrowstorm with horses. Valley Dasher, the horse. Stallion of Ashmouth has a scary horse, a nightmare horse. And it's not like they just have one copy of each. They've got like 10. Fleshmad Steed. I remember that one. Definitely a horse. Now, see, to me that looks like it should also be a nightmare horse. But it's just a regular horse, apparently. Cruel Feeding. Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know if that counts. I mean, yeah, they're centaurs, but they're like centaurs with leech arms. I don't like that one bit. Oh, they got a lot of those. A Return Centaurs, a zombie horse, a zombie centaur. Alright. Douse in Gloom, big spooky horse. And some more Return Centaurs. And that is that, my friends. Pretty sure, but we will do our due diligence and check out the lands here. They also seem to have like, I was gonna say they have a, aesthetic that they like to preserve here, but I guess these are probably just the remaining sleeves, because they probably got them in packs of 100, but they only use 60 or so for their decks. And this is gonna be lands. Here, let's move the box out of the way. Yep. Lands. I do love the land art. I think I've said this in videos past, but I just love the land card art in MTG. It is my favorite, I think. Such beautiful, fantastical scenes and views. Obviously, the lands are not worth much of anything. Well, these ones are not worth anything. You can get some very expensive lands, but, not these ones, not the basic lands. But, but I still really do enjoy them for aesthetic reasons. They're quite pretty, and I appreciate the artistry that goes into them. But from an investment standpoint, not worth anything. Well, I just don't know what to say, guys. Well, first thing is that, yeah, I don't think I made back my investment in these cards, but you know what? That's okay. Like I said when I started this video, it's less about the actual content and more about the experience, the journey. Is it nice to find fun and rare cards, valuable cards? Of course. But I had I don't want to say good time. I had an amusing time, I guess. I am quite bemused by this collection of horses. This is not what I was expecting, but nobody ever expects, a mono horses box. But what I will say is that I admire this person's commitment to horses and centaurs and pegasi and nightmare horses and zombie horses and any kind of four-legged horse-like creature. And maybe that one ungulate. Not sure if that one counts, but I will say clearly this person, they had something that they liked. They committed to it. They went for it. And they assembled quite the collection of horsey cards. And as I was saying, I get the feeling maybe this was a child. It could very well have been a young child, just going with what they like because aesthetically, maybe they just like horses. And that is something I can respect. As I started the video off saying, I basically just collect cards, magic cards, for aesthetic reasons now. And so, maybe the concept of a nothing but horse deck or entire box of nothing but horse cards is not so far from my own collecting philosophy these days. Well, friends, this was not how I expected this video to go, but I had a good time digging through that box and exploring the many horses of Magic the Gathering. I hope you did too. Hey, we uncovered the mystery of what was in that card box, and appropriately enough, as I started off the video saying, this video is sponsored by Mystery MTG. Make sure you go check out that link down in the video description if you want to save 5% off your orders, especially off pre-orders of March the Machine coming up very soon. Pre-order window is closing rapidly. And of course the Lord of the Rings set coming along in June, I think, which I'm very excited for. Super hyped for that one. That one looks amazing. I think it's going to be a heck of a lot of fun. I might have some content related to that coming up in the coming weeks here. So go check that link out. Save yourself some money on some already very competitively priced Magic cards and support this channel while you are at it. Once again, a big shout out and thank you to Mystery MTG for sponsoring. And hey, if you guys want to see more Magic content on the channel, please let me know. I do like doing these videos. I have lots of cards I could show off. I have that Invasion era theme deck is what it is. It's an old theme deck with some really fun old cards in it and that sort of thing. So we could check that out if you want. Or I could pick up some March of the Machine or Lord of the Rings in the future. So let me know down in the video comments. Hey, I hope you found this tingly. I hope you found it fun with all the horses. And I hope you found it relaxing. And I look very forward to having you back here next time. Bye for now, my friends. And of course, the video would not be complete without a big ol' thank you to this channel's supporters on YouTube memberships and on Patreon. You can see all of their names here. I appreciate them all so much. This kind of support really does help me. It gives me some freedom and independence from the vagaries of YouTube ad income and also from sponsorships. So I really, really appreciate these folks' contributions and support. If you are interested in joining these fine individuals, you can find all the information, all the links down below in the video description, and the information on the pages linked there for both Patreon and YouTube memberships if you would like to support this channel and get some fun perks while you're at it. One of the perks for one particular tier is, of course, the extra special spoken shoutout for the Fus Ro Da tier. And you are about to hear the names of those wonderful supporters right now. Starting with Drummer Brit, Jake Luffney, Blacktooth Bob, Rango Steele, Angel Garcia, Dragoon 88, Captain Vanquisher, and Ragnar Ragnarsson. Those are your Fus Ro Da tier supporters for this video. A huge thanks to them and all the supporters here once again for their generous contributions to this channel and this content. It allows me to keep making the kind of content that I love and that hopefully you love too. Thanks again, supporters.